Budget funds. There are two. We can think about two type of funds. The first one is operating funds, and the second one is the capital funds. Operating funds are for personal materials for the collection, database subscription, office supplies, utilities, internet access, and building maintenance. In other words, those funds we pay monthly or yearly, and we always have to pay them because these are for services and supplies and personnel that works at the library. The other type of budget is the capital funds, and these are a one time request for special projects such as replacing a roof, purchasing a vehicle, and of course buying and implementing an ILS. How are we going to know when we want to compare different vendors? Well, the idea here is to create a grid that compares the prices for software, hardware, services, add-ons, and training among the companies that you are considering. Okay, the compilation of the information will help you to write a proposal budget for the ILS capital investment. As we have said during the semester, implementing a new integrated library system is very costly. So we must compare different prices. If you want to see an example, please go to your textbook and read of course pages 78 to 80. And of course, don't forget to put in your budget adequate training. Okay, in page 78 to 80 we have an example of the grid to compare vendors. Budget for approval. A budget list of all expenditures necessary to implement the project. These are of course some of the things that are necessary to implement the integrated library system. The software, the hardware, space to house hardware, for example servers and other workstations, conversion, retrospective conversion, that means importing and exporting bibliographic records and patrons records, peripherals, input output devices such as scans, machines, speakers, cameras, etc. Peripherals, okay, input and output devices, subscription feed for copy cataloging, installation, maintenance, training, add-on, and federated searching. Of course, take into consideration that this will change in accordance to the implementation. If you are going to do turnkey, if you are going in a hosted system or in an open source system. So this will change in accordance to the type of implementation. And so will prices too. Of course, the cheapest implementation, as we have mentioned before, is the open source implementation. Budget for approval. Present a detailed budget listing the prices for each item. This will help justify the funding request. So the budget has to be very clear in terms of how much money do you need for the implementation. It is important to show that you have given thought and consideration to your budget proposal. Another benefit of presenting a detailed budget is assisting in the difficult choice of making cuts if the total amount requested cannot be approved. Because most of the times the funds that you're asking for won't be approved at all in the total amount. So you will if you do a detailed budget, you will know where you have to cut. Detailed budget also prevents cuts so deep that it keeps you from purchasing the ILS. And here again, if you want to see an example of this, go to the textbook and read pages 82 to 84. Justification statement of your budget. It is a vital piece of every budget is a justification statement, especially in hard economic times, such as the times that we're living today, when we don't have, there is not enough money to go around. Those that will approve your budget are more likely not experts on integrated library system. This is very true. So we have to explain as much as possible the effectiveness and the efficient side of running an integrated library system in our libraries. So it is a very good idea to explain how the ILS will affect the daily operation of a library. And one of the things that we have to do emphasis on to the board of directors or whoever is giving us the funding for the ILS is that we are going to save money on operational costs once we have the integrated library system implemented. It is your job to educate why an ILS needs to be purchased. And the idea here is the library will run more efficiently, and therefore the library will save money on operational costs. Justification statement allows administrators to read the story behind the numbers, especially administrators that don't know about what an ILS system is. They need to read the justification to make the capital investment to implement an integrated library system. If it answers the questions of how this capital project will improve library operation and the people it serves. It is also very important that we only not justify our ILS, but also remember that the focus of any implementation at any technological implementation at the library, such as an integrated library system, is for the benefit of our patrons, for the benefit of the community we serve. Don't ever lose that focus. A library it's an organization that serves the community. Answer the following questions in the body of the justification statement. Question number 1. Why is a new ILS necessary and why it is necessary at this time? 2. Who will benefit from the ILS? Staff, borrowers, both. Yes, of course, both. The staff and the community we serve. State if a new system will save money. This is a key here. If you can justify that and you can state truly that the ILS will save operational cost to the library. Be ready to provide figures to support these claims. The next question: how will the ILS software hardware be paid for? Are there options for funding sources? Please again read from your textbook pages 85 and 86. Divulging the budget, meaning making the budget public. Remember that the budget you present for approval may change during the RFP process, and what we're going to see next, the next chapter 9, will be the RFP process. Competitive bidding may cause price to come in lower, or economic factors may cause prices to rise. If you have a lot of vendors in competition for implementing your ILS, the prices may go down. Of course, there are other factors such as macroeconomic factors that may rise the price also. In the bidding process, vendors who want your business will make every effort to offer their best price, because you have several vendors bidding to implement your ILS. I'm sure the price will go down because they are very interested in selling you the software and the hardware for implementing your ILS. Remember that the other option is going the open source way. But in that case, anyhow, you will need to upgrade your hardware. During the interaction with the sales consultants, do not divulge the ballpark budget, as this will take away your ability to receive or negotiate the best quote. And this is true for everything that you are going to purchase on life. If you go and buy a new car or an old car and you go to the dealer, please, please do not tell the dealer how much money are you willing to spend or how much you have budget to buy that car. Well, the same is true for a ILS system and vendors of ILS system. And of course, that goes together with the next bullet point, that is, play your cards close to your chest. Remember, you're trying to get the best ILS system, the one that addresses your RFP, your request for proposal, at the best price. Next week, we'll do chapter 9, and that's the request for proposal. Thank you.